blazing so bright, calling the fight from the islands. We stand from dawn to twilight. The empires rise and conquer. In the wild face of danger, carry on to the victory. You better take a deep breath. Each dawn it brings a bitter fight. Another chill may run down your spine. Fear lurks beyond the edge of sight. Carry on to the glory, to the great victory. Never give up till you die. Never give up in this life. For every war that you win bright, it's time to become. Never give up on your mind. Hold your weapons, strive and fight. For every kingdom that falls and rise, it's time to become legendary. Chaos will sharpen your knife. Make way to find your destiny. Worship a man or a shrine. Can both recall is scattered. In the wild town of wardrobes, tearing down all the enemies. You better capture the arcs. The carriers may bug you down. Set up for the swift is right. Sneaky Texas work as your best alive. Carry on to the glory, to the great victory. Never give up till you die. Never give up in this life. For every war that you win bright, it's time to become. Never give up on your mind. Hold your weapons, strive and fight. For every kingdom that falls and rise, it's time to become legendary. Across the ocean lands, stories will be told. How you struggle, how you try to define the world. With a sacred name, you are the one chosen to start up the storm. Never give up till you die. Never give up in this life. For every war that you win bright, it's time to become. Never give up on your mind. Hold your weapons, strive and fight. For every kingdom that falls and rise, it's time to become legendary.
Hello, governors. Welcome to Welcome to the 2024 Grand Prix Lower Bracket Round 4. I'm your host, Plato Gaming caster and content creator for Rise of Kingdoms. And today alongside me is our fellow caster, longtime content creator, Redline. Glad to be here with you, man.
Hey, good to be casting with you again, Plato. Hello, everybody. Hello. Excited for a good match coming up.
Yeah, this should be a good one, as the Grand Prix is the pinnacle of competitive Osiris League, where the best of the best teams from both the international server and the Chinese server get to compete to prove themselves as the best Osiris League teams in the world. Today, we are casting the lower bracket, meaning that these teams need to win to keep their Grand Prix hopes alive. The match that we are casting today will feature two tournament favorites that find themselves in the lower bracket. A rematch from the upper bracket, 466S versus 93T. 466S are one of the best teams from the Chinese server and were upset last week by an up-and-coming team, a powerhouse in their own right, 732A. 93T are the only international server team left. Yesterday, they were able to beat the current Grand Prix reigning champions, 489, and they were sent to the lower bracket by 466S in their first matchup against each other. Will 466S get to face off against their sister team, 466W, in the next round, or will 93T get revenge on 466S and continue holding on to the hopes of the international server as the last international server team in the tournament? Redline, what are your thoughts?
Oh, man, I'm going 93T all the way, man. As a representative of the international server, I got to go for him. But like you mentioned, 466S is, definitely a team not to be reckoned with. If you look at the last match they had before, I mean, it was so close. I think it was like 2,000 points. So hopefully 93T will, have, fill some gaps in and kind of turn that around. So again, I'm going for 93T, but it's going to be definitely a fun match to watch, and we'll see what comes out of it to go big or go home for this upcoming match.
Yeah, 93T. Again, they have been going through trials and tribulations. They went through GV77, 489, taking out some of these international server teams, trying to make sure that, hey, we are the best team in the international server. We are the team to represent the international server. And now with the opportunity to redeem themselves against 466S, it is the storyline that writes itself. 466S, I mean, they are a very, very strong team, a very, very strong kingdom, as 466W, their sister team, just beat 21YL, which was seen as the second or third best, rather, Chinese team going into this tournament. So 466S, I'm going to be curious to see if they're going to be able to run it back, because I know for a fact 93T saw their loss, they saw what happened, and they did practice and make some notes upon what they can do next time, and next time is finally here. Redline, I mean, what do you think so far of this tournament and how it's shaken out in terms of the international server and Chinese server and 93T's run on the way here?
I mean, the tournament itself has been great to see, right? Like you see like all these different teams from different parts of the world kind of going head to head, and for the international side, 93T has definitely shown their ability in this tournament that they are the best on the international server side. Now the Chinese servers, man, they're coming in hot, and their strategies, their way of coordinating these matches are just amazing to see. So it's just great to see every single year these new teams coming up with the tournament. But for this specific match, the little nuances that 93T needs to do are definitely important here. Last match, they didn't win any arcs against 466S, right? It was 2 arcs to none, but they killed it in occupation score. But 466S did an amazing job on provisions, which was about 7K to about 4.5K. So it's going to be close, man. We'll see what 93T does differently for this match, and then hopefully they can pull one out to move on to the next round.
Yeah, the provisioning meta has kind of been pioneered from the Chinese server, and the international servers have tried to slowly but surely adopt it. 748W, which was from the international server, lost to 466W yesterday because they were not able to adapt to those provisions. 93T are one of those teams in the international server that recognize what the strength of provisioning, the strength of gathering, the strength of farming, believe it or not, in a Rise of Kingdoms game. And they are going to try to use what they've learned into this game to shorten that 2K gap. That 2K gap, by the way, in that last matchup between these two teams, made up from provisioning. As we get into the game here, we have 466S in the top left corner versus 93T in the bottom right. Man, this is going to be it for the international server. Every single game that 93T plays can be the last game of the international server, which is a crazy thought compared to last season, where the international server finals, or the server finals rather, the Grand Prix finals, was 489 versus 60GT. Redline, we got that in the first round of the lower bracket where 60GT was beaten by 489. Now that the 489 reigning champions have been beaten by 93T, this is just, the tournament is shaping up to be super, super interesting for 93T.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for 93T, man. Like, again, you're playing against the only other the remaining Chinese servers, and again, they've been practicing. They've been doing so many things over the years, and now I think they think this is their year to shine in the Grand Prix. Yesterday's match that you guys casted, and that match was so close. I think it was 500 points difference.
Yeah.
from 93T taking that loss. It was so close, and again, it came down to the provisions because that last arc match, that last arc fight that 93T had against 489, they dominated that middle fight. But then they owned the occupation game, but provisions made the game so close, put up to 500 points. Like, that was insane. Like, you handle occupation, you handle the last arc, but you almost lose to provisioning. So I'm really interested to see how this match shapes up, and if 93T can go through continue to go on through this gauntlet, or 466S moves on.
Yeah, it is going to be a powerhouse battle in the lower bracket here. The match has started. Opening sentries. Let's see where these sentries are placed. It is not the typical sentry outside of the gates for the Chinese server. It is in fact in between the two outposts of Seth here. So looking towards their home desert altar, this top side of the map, I don't think there was a sentry placed by 93T as of yet.
Not at all.
Energetic used by both teams. We have the 8 obelisk rallies, which is typical in an Ark of Osiris match. Redline, do you expect to see anything crazy with these openings? Or what do you expect out of these openings from these two teams?
I don't expect anything new. I mean, again, I'm sure that 93T and 466S has done homework on both on each other. I think that 93T is going to focus up definitely hard on occupation like they did from yesterday's match. Like, I don't really see a huge I guess change of strategy compared to what 93T did last game. It's just more filling the gaps. So I really think the openings are going to be similar to the same, where they're going to go very hard on occupation, try to swap these altars out, and then control the pace of the game to determine when arc spawns, etc. So I don't think we'll see a big difference here from both teams in terms of opening strategies. How about yourself?
I see that these teams have both their sentries in the top side of this map. So, we also have 93T putting down a sentry in front of the Shrine of War. So I think there will be some play. Honestly, with the March distribution from 93T, a lot of troops going into the Desert Altar for some offense here. I'm pretty interested to see, because 93T known as one of those outer lane teams trying to flip the Shrine of Life, trying to flip the Sky Altar before mid spawns, so that it poses a question to the opponents, to the people they're versing, is like, do we flip back our structures and try to save the first occupation points but lose mid tempo, or do we go mid and lose the first occupation points on our structure? It's kind of one of those double loss scenarios for their opponents. Looks like they're going to be focusing more in these inner lanes, which has been the Chinese team focus, while the Chinese team looks like they have more 466S. They have more troops in this outer lane.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying too. And again, I think when it comes down to the opening strategy, it's more of like whoever has the momentum right out the gate in terms of structures, for example, if 93T were able to take flip any of the desert altars on their side or other buildings, etc., they control the tempo of the game, which can really dictate who goes to mid and who doesn't. So I'm really that's what I'm really interested to see, is that who's going to be the aggressive one, or is the other team going to be more of playing the defensive side? Okay, 93T or 466 is doing this, let's adapt to this, or let's change to this because they're doing X, Y, and Z. So really interested to see how these teams are going to play it out right before this upcoming first fight.
93T, I mean, throughout this whole tournament, they have rarely gone mid. The fight yesterday versus 489 was probably the first time we've seen 93T go all in, all mid, and they were able to dominate 489. It'd be curious to see what they choose to do against 466S. They are a team that sees the arc spawn, they see where the troops are, and then they make a call. Do we try to contest buildings, or do we try to contest arc? We'll have to see what call they choose to make in this match here, as it looks like the initial murder balls will start 1 minute before the structures open up. Looks like a decent opening from both teams here.
Here we go.
Initial sad faces looks pretty even. Looks pretty even from both sides. I will say I think there is a number advantage in this murder ball to 93T. And we have to remember, all of these accounts, same number of troops, same commanders, same armaments, same inscriptions. So it'll all come down to your strategy and your March deployment, your macro and your micro, instead of the power of the accounts, which is the beauty of the Grand Prix. Looks like Desert Altar was cleared by 93T, and same thing with 466S. 466S able to clear 93T's Desert Altar assault. So both Desert Altars seem to be pretty healthy, but I will say 93T Sky Altar looks to be under threat.
Oh, interesting. And see once if you look at the top side Desert Ultra, once they wiped out that 93T ball, they immediately shift to the opponent's Sky Altar. And so, you know what? We're not going to retreat our troops back. Nope. You're going to just go smash, sad face it on that structure. And if they get this timing right, they can probably pull this off.
It is the 93T were able to get some resets, though, and they know exactly where 466S are going, sending all of their troops to this Sky Altar for some reinforcements, for some backup garrisons. We see some of these marches now trying to intercept these 466S marches. But as you were talking about, though, these marches are probably coming from home base. They look relatively healthy as soon as I click a 1 HP CPO Prime, but most of the marches look relatively healthy. This could be a pretty devastating Sky Altar assault, but it looks like they are running in one by one. 93T do have some open field around this, so without a rally, it should be safe for now. Probably just trying to reset. And the thing about attacking the Sky Altar in this case is all of these fresh marches that are walking in, they can now be chipped away. They could be put to yellow. They could be put to red. And then 93T will then be the ones that have to question, do we start taking the walk of shame home, or do we then attack the Desert Altar in response? It's kind of this pendulum, this back and forth between the two teams, and we'll have to see which team gets the advantage here. But it looks pretty standard if we look at the rest of the map. Pretty standard opening from both teams.
Yeah, I like what you said here about that Sky Ultra. Like I think what's great for 466S is that, you know, a lot of teams were kind of keen on, okay, once we, you know, hold back an attack, we'll retreat, refresh, but they automatically censor over to the opponent's top Sky Ultra. But look at here now, right? You have a bunch of troops from 93T kind of going back to reset, refresh, and then that could be the right time for, if 466S timed it right, just pull on a full assault on that Sky Ultra. But it looks like 93T did the right thing.
These teams looking very even so far, Redline. And you could even see the marches streaming out of mid pretty much at the same tempo here.
Wow.
It's pretty much a mirror from these teams, which is very impressive. And just showing that, hey, the meta for Ark of Osiris, the meta for this Grand Prix has been getting more and more defined. 93T, you know, definitely molding themselves, definitely showing themselves to be, you know, accepting of this new meta. But this is, if this is a mid rotation, this is going to be the earliest mid rotation, I think, this Grand Prix. 4 minutes 30 seconds. We haven't seen a mid rotation from 93T for so long, and this is going to be very, very, very early. This is going to be akin to season 3, season 4 of Osiris League in the international server, which is super interesting to see these two teams start rotating middle.
Yeah, like you said too, like, you know, teams are trying to fill the gaps, and like, again, from the last time these two opponents faced each other, you know, 93T did not, you know, have any arcs whatsoever, and there was only 2 for that match. So I think this is their time to say, okay, this is what worked last match, this is what we need to do for this match. But then now, like, so far, about 12 minutes into the match, right, the amount of structures each team has is pretty even. And again, last match, 93T owned the occupation by about 6k at the end of the game. So right now, I think 466S is also adapting to what happened previous match and making sure that they did not lose the occupation game similar to what they did last time. So I think that they're both kind of like offsetting each other from what they experienced last match against one another.
Now the real question is, will 93T be able to offset the provisioning? That's going to be the question. No provisioners as of yet for both teams here. Oh, there's a couple provisioners from 466S. And Redline, that's the thing. If this match continues to be even, I'm going to be pretty nervous for the international server team, because the Chinese teams, 466S in particular, have been really good at this provisioning meta. The thing about provisioning now compared to previous seasons in the Grand Prix is it's a skill. This is not something that you could just pick up, multitask and you could start gathering. You have to know specific hotspots of where provisioners usually spawn. You have to be on top of your game and make sure that you go from caravan to caravan, while potentially also microing marches middle, microing marches that are filling structures. So it is a very, very tough skill and very, very underrated skill. And we'll have to see if the 93T provisioners were able to get enough practice. Practice gathering is something that we've never talked about, but it is definitely something that you need to do, especially against a team like 466S.
I mean, shout out to the main provisioners on these ARC or Grand Prix teams, right? Like you said, micromanaging, because again, if you're a great provisioner, you're not sending the troops home after one caravan is done. You're hopping them throughout the match. You're literally micromanaging. Okay, once that node is done, you send it to the next one, or you kind of scout the map for the next one, and then at the same time you're fighting the middle, you're supporting structures whatsoever. So it's a very, very hard thing to do and to be efficient as possible. Now here at Paul, as you're seeing the mid fight, it's the thing about this match here. Like last match with 93T facing against 466S, they only had about 4.5k provisions compared to 466S having about 7k. So they have to close that gap because how close the match was before. And I think the first step in doing it is one, doing more provisioning here, maintain the occupation score for 93T, and then at least getting one of these arcs for this upcoming match for this match.
And it looks like they are getting to that step too. They are trying to get this arc. They went full middle, kind of similar to the last arc of 489. They're like, hey, that last mid fight that we had against 489 went so well. Let's just copy and paste what we did there to this mid fight here as sneaky tactics used to buff up the attack of 30 marches by 466S. Bogged down in response by 93T. Looks like we will be having the mid-fight brawl a little bit earlier than usual here, and there you go. They have now gotten into this murder ball 466S with heaven's grace compared to the bog down of 93T. Bog down, you have to keep in mind, lowers healing by 50% of your opponents. Technically a counter to heaven's grace. Will that bog down be enough? I think it'll come down to the micro of both teams. Will they be able to select and hit the right marches? 93T, though, having the positioning advantage on this temple, they should be able to get a free pull, but there are double C's from 466S trying to snipe the arc from the north. It does look like the sad faces are raining from both teams. This is a very even mid-fight.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, Redline.
Oh my gosh, it looks pretty even right now, but I think it looks like, I don't know, 93T just had a giant stream of sad faces going back. It's going to be pretty even here.
466S with a pull. 466S with a pull. Will they have the numbers? They do. In dot mode, it is blue. It is a sea of blue marches and a stream of red sad faces, meaning that 466S against the odds, against them provisioning at the same time, were able to win this mid-fight, which is absolutely huge for them, getting the lead in provisions and with the arc. What a play from 466S. How can 93T respond, Redline?
Wow, this is going to be a tough one. So again, as we talked about last match right here, so 93T did not have any arcs the previous match these two faced up, but 93T owned the occupation game. But the map, if you look at the map right now, Plato, it's still even. So this is a repeat of what happened last match, but 93T can't own the occupation game. It's not going to look good for 93T. So now it's going to be very interesting to see how 93T responds. Most teams in these cases, right, if you lose the first arc, you go heavy on structures. So I'm really interested to see what 460S is going to do to maintain their structures against 93T here, who I'm assuming is going to be going hard on these structures. Mm-hmm.
Calling the fight from vigilance. We stand from dawn to twilight. The empires rise and conquer. In the wild face of danger. Carry on to the victory. You better take a deep breath.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, man, because right now, but based on when we look at the map here, it looks like 466 definitely has marchers set up in place to kind of repel this attack. So hopefully, they're hoping to be holding out against 93T, because right now 93T needs to do something here. They need to kind of shift the momentum back in their side. And I'm interested to see, Plato, if 466 is going to keep the arc and then, kind of hold it and kind of, wait to, when to respond it, or are they going to keep going for arcs based on their middle performance? What do you think?
I think they're probably going to hold on to arcs. Oh wait, but the Sky Altar's falling. This is a huge. If this is the Sky Altar fall, it's going to be a huge take. We're talking about, by the way, apparently I was muted. That 93T, the response is taking these outer lane structures. This is the typical 93T response. And I think 466S is probably going to hold on to these arcs, provision up. I expect to see a couple more provisioners. They have 5 as of now. Look at 93T though. The response 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provisioners from them. So they are responding, and this is what we were talking about, the in tournament kind of changes that 93T have been having. Looks like they are somehow taking advantage of this provisioning game, as well as the structure game here.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. They just flipped both the altar and the shrine on the top side of the map. So this is a good start for them. And then all of a sudden, we saw from 0 gatherers to like 8. So they're trying to close the gap early in the game from this 3K arc. And now 460S, they dominated that mid fight, right? They dominated. But at the same time, did it 489 yesterday's match? They dominated the first arc as well. Or did 93T not compete against that? Because this could be a repeat of that as well. Because based on what I saw from 93T's last arc fight, they dominated that. And I know there were different skills used this time around. So I'm interested to see, if on the next arc how 93T is going to do. But this is a great start for them to kind of make it that point differential.
93T, they went the sneaky tactics, tried to delay the arc type of approach. While also taking the structures. So they kind of went this hybrid approach. They went all out for this first arc, which would have spelled disaster for them if they weren't able to flip the structures in the outer lane, such as a Sky Altar, such as a Shrine of Life. And in all honesty, kudos to them, because the 466S Murder Ball, they were still alive and healthy. They knew that most of the troops from 466S were inside the middle lane there. So they were like, hey, what's the farthest place away from where 466S have their power? It's the shrine, it's a Sky Altar, it's a Shrine of Life. So they were able to flip those structures, try to at least, create a little bit of a gap. They're now up by 500 points. And in all honesty, if it comes down to the provisions, as well as...
Oh, it's so close.
I think this is going to go... If I had to predict, Redline, where this match is going to go for the next maybe 18 minutes here before the second arc spawns, I think 466S is probably going to hold this arc for as long as possible. I think 466S and 93T are going to hold their buildings and just try to out-provision each other. And then it'll come down to that second arc.
Yeah, so right now it's only been 93T who's able to flip structures on both sides, right? Everybody else has probably been stagnant. Plato, the last match you casted, it came down to provisions. I have a strong feeling it's going to come down to provisions, buddy. It's going to come down to it. It's going to be so close. I mean, right now, based on what I'm seeing right here, I think there might be a slight edge for 93T in terms of occupation because they've been able to do that. But
flipping
as we say,
altar. Wow. How are these altars flipping? This is, in all honesty, kind of unprecedented. 466S, they had full control of this match if they just were able to hold their structures. The main thing is they're not able to hold their structures.
They just literally flipped that like in a blink of an eye.
No reinforcements could even get in there, Redline. That's how fast 93T flipped that.
Wow. So again, they're doing a great job kind of closing the gap in terms of how many points they're losing from that first arc, because the first arc is only 3,000 points. So like, it's just like 93T doing a really good job at kind of like minimizing the damage here. And this is a great start plot with three altars to one.
For viewers at home, every single time you flip an altar, it is at least 300 points taken away from your opponents, because even if they insta recap it, it takes 2 minutes. 150 points per minute, 300 points. They have denied it for now 3 minutes, so that's 450 points. You have to continue on and on and on, and that is how they're gonna continue chipping away at this at the arc that 466S has. They're now up by 1.1k, meaning that 466S, even though they were up by about 3k with the arc, they are now only up by 1.9 when the arc is captured.
Oh, this is great from 93T also. For as you see at the top, there's also like 93T has like a decent sized murder ball here, and then 466S is just sending troops in one by one, so it can literally just minimize these troops as they come by. And 93T's reinforcements are coming in, so they can hold this altar for a good amount of time, Plato. And that's what I'm concerned about for 466S. Like, can they, like, they're gonna lose some points on this altar right here because they're literally just walking in one by one.
Yeah, the walking in one by one, not ideal in KVKs, in Ark of Osiris as well. Even though Ark of Osiris in this, you have a number of troops, it is all about tempo. And if you do not have the tempo to attack the structure, it is going to be very, very hard. I think they're trying to whittle down the troops slowly but surely. The refreshes from these stat-facing marches is literally about 20 seconds. So they're like, all right, just run at them, run at them, run at them. Try to take away this murder ball slowly but surely. But at the same time, this Desert Altar now generating points from 93T. The Sky Altar also flipped under our noses somehow.
Wow.
What is going on in this game? This is very, very interesting. The fact that 93T went all in mid, but are still able to flip structures boggles my mind. And that is how they're getting back into this game slowly but surely.
They're literally just kind of like, literally now it's like almost 2k point difference in the score. Like literally now, if they score the arc now, it'll be what, 1k advantage for 466S. So 93T is doing a really great job minimizing the damage you get from losing that first arc. So 466S has to respond here and level out the playing field to ensure that, hey, this first arc was a W for us. But 93T is saying, hey, you got the first arc, great, we got your structures.
500 points, now down to about 200 points, no, 300 points rather. They gain 300 points more than their opponents per minute here. So they're going to continue growing and growing that lead. If we go ahead and do a provisioner check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 provisioners to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 provisioners, 8 provisioners from 93T. Even in provisioning, they are just not even in these structures, which is so interesting. I feel like 466S, they were not a structure-based team, but these Chinese server teams have been so strong just by holding their structures. The provisioning game does not work if you can't hold on to your structures to the same clip as your opponents. Man, this is going to be a very, very interesting game because it's getting to an even point at this point. If you look at the score, when 466S captured this arc, they will only be up by 1k, Redline.
Yeah, 93T did a really good job again, kind of offsetting that loss of the arc. So 466S is stabilizing, but like now my mind, Plato, I think that because of how well they handled the mid fight, like I would go ahead and turn this in and possibly make this a 2-3 arc game here against 93T, because 466S did a really good job in that first arc here, and I would assume that they kind of want to stick to that strategy.
The thing about it is, whoever captures a second arc, they could technically force a third arc. They have the reins, they have the control to say, all right, yeah, hey, you guys gotta come, you guys gotta bring yourselves back here for this third arc. Or they could say, we're chilling, we believe in our building game, we believe in our provisioners, we are just going to have 2 arcs. 93T, I mean, now they're 1-for-1 going all in mid. They won against 489, they lost against 466S. I wonder if they're gonna even contest the second arc, or if they're gonna go for that sneaky tactics play, it's going to be really interesting to see what 93T decides to do. While they've been so effective in flipping 466S structures, will they continue to try to pull 466S throughout other places in the map, or will they go all in mid again? Redline, what do you think?
I feel like how you just said it right. They need to pull 466S in different parts of the map. They need to make them, like, I guess, put out fires on their structure game right here, because 93T is really good on this. And like, look at this, they're just clapping this structure on the desert altar, and it looks like they're led by Silent Flow over here. Like that's what they need to continue doing, and then kind of put the momentum back in their favor with the structure game right here. And they're doing a really good job. But 466S, though, as I'm saying that, they're holding pretty well. This Eleanor is getting, in other words, I think I heard from the last cast, getting touched by Jack. You know, so like we need to like figure this out. Like how they gonna handle this?
This is, I mean, we were talking about it yesterday. The MVP of the Garrison isn't the Eleanor. It's the double C triple line formations running into to fix and try to reinforce this Eleanor. My goodness, they've been streaming in reinforcements over and over and over again. It's getting low though. Will they be able to get some reinforcements in there on time? It looks like the answer is yes. Wow, look how low. Look how low the Eleanor is getting, Redline. This is so close. There are still 93T marches coming into Swarm. 93T Swarm's looking rather healthy.
They should be able to swap this, but not hold it. They will not be able to hold it because obviously how fast 466S can get their marches back. But actually, as I'm saying that, can they take this blow?
They were able to take it. Wow. But what a good attempt by 466S. I can't even blame them for losing that structure.
Wow. So that's the pressure that 93T has to do, Plot, right here. They have to continue to dictate the map by owning the structures, and every point matters right now. Every single point matters. And as we're saying that, didn't the 466 just flop the desert altar on the bottom side? Oh man,
they responded
in their own way.
Yeah, it was a trade. So they were able to delay the desert altar capture from 93T. In response, they attacked 93T's desert altar as well. So it's actually 2 altars to 2. Neither of these new altars are generating points for either team. So it is very even in this game. And that's what we're talking about. In these top levels of Osiris League, everyone is like, these two teams are literally just flipped. The only thing is that the Arc was just captured, that being the only difference in points. And the desert altars that 93T were able to take earlier on, but now it's only, as you were talking about, Redline, 1.1k in 466S's advantage right now.
Yeah, which is it's easy to be made up, right? Especially how 93T's been taking structures. They can easily, like, you know, close that gap. Now the question is, Plato, is 93T going to respond to the second arc here? And based on what I was saying earlier, you know, from yesterday's match, they can do it, but 466S is definitely a force to reckon with in the middle. So it's really going to come down to that second arc, and then that's really going to dictate the rest of the game.
Yeah, this second arc, I would be, in all honesty, if I were to put on my, you know, tinfoil cap, try to predict the future here, I think 93T won't contest the second arc. We've seen them have success with buildings when it's a straight up 466S, straight up 466S trying to defend against 93T. 93T has had the advantage, even though these buildings has been flipped here and there. Overall, in occupation, 93T has had the advantage. 93T's strength, from what I've seen, isn't, you know, going all in middle micro mechanics. It's the macro game. It's sending troops exactly where they need to be at the right time. If you faced 93T in KVK, that's also their kingdom strength. I think stretching out 466S, bringing their troops to the Shrine of Life, to the Desert Altar, to the Shrine of War, to the Sky Altar, while also sending marches middle with sneaky tactics, would probably be what 93T does, and that's what 93T has been doing throughout this Grand Prix tournament that have made them successful thus far. That's what won 93T back-to-back grand finals in Osiris League in the international servers. So the fact that 93T went for that first mid fight. I was actually pretty surprised, but I would be surprised yet again if they decide to do that 2 times in a row in a game.
I just feel like based on how the match is going right now, yes, that I think 93T is winning the occupation game right now at the moment, but it's so close, plot. It's not like hey, we're losing the arcs, we're owning the occupation game. I just feel like they have to go for the second arc to truly say, okay, we can maintain this, because right now I feel like even though the points are so close, 46S can respond very easily, especially with the provisions plot. Like, that's the most important thing. The provisioning is going to be very important based on what's seeing the map right here. Depending whoever gets the next arc, it's going to come down to the provisions. Who is doing that right now? Who's micromanaging that at the moment? And I really feel like that's going to be one of the biggest pieces of the game as we get closer to going past the halfway mark of the match.
All right, we'll have to see who's going to be right. Redline saying 93T have to go for the second arc. Will it be Plot or Redline? It's going to be really interesting, though. Either way, it's going to be super interesting to see how 93T responds. 93T, I feel like they won't give up middle for free. They're going to make 466S have to answer them on these side lanes. And it's going to be this hybrid type of contest where if you go all in mid 466S, you're going to lose all your structures. But if you leave too many, if you don't go middle and leave too little marches middle, we will just steal the arc from under your noses.
Yep, that's it. That's all based on information, right? That's what these teams do so well, is that they utilize they utilize all the information and respond based on what they're seeing on the map. So like that's why these teams are top level, because a lot of people think, it's all about the march composition. It's all about where, how your talents are set up, but like it's all about information and responding and doing different things on the map based on what you're seeing.
Yeah, we will have to see. Looks like 466S defending against the Desert Ultra Assault that has been very, very successful from 93T. Murder Ball from 93T able to be sad faced before the rally got there. All the buildings generating points except for one outpost, except for one obelisk. And now we're starting to see a mid rotation from 93T. So 93T having this, it's not a full mid rotation. This is kind of this hybrid, like, hey, we could still go to this outer lane and go here, but we could also rotate in middle. I think they're trying to see it and probe where 466S is going. I think they're trying to, check where 466S is going, what their plan is, and then try to respond in kind. And now they saw that 466S are rotating middle. They're going to go to the Sky Altar Redline.
Oh, what a play. Now this is risky. This is risky. It might be what you said, right? But you know what? Screw mid. We're going to take back structures. Like, that could be the play right here. Oh, man. What a move. What a move. And what, 3 minutes left into the arc? Hold on. What do you think? I don't know. They can take this, but they have to hold it to really cancel this second arc out if they don't go for it.
There's a sentry, Redline. There's a sentry. 466S know exactly what's going on. The sentry was taken down by 93T, but they already got a peek, and now the marches that were rotating middle are scrambling to the Sky Altar. This is a response from 466S.
What a response.
This is an amazing response. Will they be able to be on time, though, is the real question. And now, this is what we were talking about. This is the pendulum. This is the balance that you have to play to be a top team. Seeing that your opponents want to go structures, even though you want to go middle, trying to respond. And now there's going to be a contingent of marches from 93T that keeps this murder ball here. Meanwhile, the marches that we're able to get through are going to try to swarm the Sky Altar, try to get a flip. In all honesty, this is looking rather 466S favored in this side, but both teams, you can see marches literally standing side by side, walking next to each other like they're friends, just running straight to the Sky Altar, and this is the objective to get.
Wow, this is this is a great move by 93T. Like, you know what? We're gonna respond and do this. Like, what a shift! But 46S with that marker being placed down to see what's going on, that was amazing. Like and now they're responding. So
Sky flipped.
Yes, so they flipped it, but how long can they keep it for? Right? So that's the big thing. And I feel like based on the number of that 46S have there, it won't be for long. So now, like, if you look at the middle plot, there's nobody from 93T, right? From what I'm seeing, like, in the middle right now to respond to the amount of marches that Forces is have.
This is going to be a sneaky tactics murder ball here. Try to delay and deny. The real question is, does 466S, do they have Desert Storm to respond? It looks like the answer is no. No Desert Storm used in response to sneaky tactics. So for quite some time here, and 93T will be in stealth. They will be able to delay this arc. 93T, the map is looking very red. The Shrine of Life taken, the Sky Altar taken. Looks like the Desert Altar is under attack, but the Desert Altar looks to be safe. That is going to be a huge hold from 466S. Now, will they be able to escort this arc in a safe manner is going to be the question of the game.
What a play, Plotto. What a play. Oh my god, look at this. Like, oh my god. This is kind of nerve-wracking. If you're a 93T fan or 466S fan, you gotta admit, this is a great match so far. It's so close. And then the type of strategy we're seeing on the map right here, like this whole sneaky tactics things right now going on, this is gonna be an interesting mid-fight here, Plotto. Because I think their ultimate goal right now for 93T is to delay, the art being captured, and then hopefully if the other members on the opposing sides from
Master Strategies! Master Strategies! They saw that 466S did not send March's middle, so they're gonna teleport March's middle to steal. This is a huge play from 93T on 466S. This is going to be an arc steal from 93T. What a play from 93T. They said we're going buildings. 466S followed them. 93T teleporting out, flipping one of the altars, but saying middle was our goal this whole time, and this arc should be in 93T's hands. It is currently being carried by 466S. They're desperately trying to get this arc on their side. Redline, what is going on?
I am mind blown right now what just happened. Like, this is insane. What a play from 93T. But the question is, Plotto, can they capitalize on what they just did? Because 46S is responding. Their troops got there fast for some reason. So, like, can they?
They were there quick. Yeah, they were there quick. They went from the Desert Altar. They responded, and this is going to be, I feel like, the longest mid-fight we've had in the Grand Prix.
Oh my god, what a play. I'm still mind blown. I was like, right when you screamed in my ear, like, I was like, what's happening? Like, this was a great move by 93T, because now it's like nothing happened before this arc just happened. Like, literally, they just said, okay, you know what? We're not going to march there. We're just going to teleport over there. So, like, that was insane. Now, again, the question is, can they capitalize this? And based on what I'm looking at, Plotto, they will be able to get the second arc.
Is going to be a clean pull. A huge play from 93T.
They pulled it off. Holy crap.
That is going to be... Now, will they be able to escort it back? There's some marches from 466S in the outer lane here, trying to snipe this arc carrier. This arc is so huge to both of these teams' plans, because if 466S loses arc, could they provision back up like 4K? While 93T have been provisioning themselves, they did bring back some of their provisioners, 93T. 466S, they do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provisioners still out there. But in all honesty, 93T have been responding to the provisioners by provisioning themselves. It shouldn't be that big of a gap compared to the first time these teams matched up. Oh, wait, the arc carrier is walking the wrong way. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Shout out to Super. Shout out to Super. At the end of the day, you're micromanaging five marches, right? So you probably told his remaining marches to go somewhere else, and he realized, like, hey, can you imagine how much yelling in his ear right now was in Discord?
I mean, if I'm hyped just watching it, imagine playing the game.
Oh my god, what a great play! Now, Plotto, we have 19 minutes left in the match. This, I would assume, will be the last arc, I believe, that could be truly contested for and turned in. What's going to happen now, Plot, in your mind right now? Right now, the map's pretty even. I believe that 93T has the occupation score, in their favor at the moment, and the arc score is in the favor of 93T just by about 500 points. And the provisioning, that's unknown. Like, what are your thoughts going to be happening next?
I think 93T is going to hold this arc till the end of the game. I think this is the last arc of this game. And 93T, they're going to hold their structures. They're gonna pull a Chinese server strat on 466S. They're going to hold the structures. I expect to see 15 provisioners come out from 93T. As soon as this arc is closely in hand, as soon as they get the structures under their control, I expect to see both teams sprint out with provisioners. That's what I expect to see. Man, it's just I saw what 93T wanted to do in that second mid fight, which was they're gonna go buildings. They saw that 466S went middle. They saw 466S counter their call. I did not see the extra layer of the master strategies. I was
completely agree. I completely agree. I was like, wait, right when I saw that happen, I was like, what a play, right? Because like what we said earlier, it's all about information, right? You determine, where your opponent's at all times, and then 93T just put on that later, like, all right, we're just going to teleport a bunch of marches over there. Like, that was just a great play to get them the second arc. Now it comes down to who's going to maintain the occupation game and get those points. Because right now, it looks like 46S is, taking advantage of that. And then with the provisions, like what's going to happen here in the next 17 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, look, you can start to see some of the provisioners now coming out. Look at the provisioners coming out from 466S. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now at double digits. 93T, they should start responding in kind. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 as well. It's impressive that they, at least from what the eye that I saw, the scan that I did, they pretty much have even provisioners. Yeah. So there shouldn't be a 3.5k differential for 466S to come back in provisioning. If everything stays the status quo, 93T, if they take back the Sky Altar, it looks like it's going to be a question of when they take back the Sky Altar. Stabilized structures, 93T should be victorious. But 466S, they are desperately holding for the Sky Altar, trying to deny as many points as possible. That is going to be the name of the game for them.
And also another thing, Plot, we were watching yesterday's match when 489 and 93T were going head to head. If you have like a one dedicated provisioner, like isn't it like someone can drop in like with all 5 marches like 3,500 points?
Yeah, so, like, it was crazy.
Like so like with something like that, so I don't think that does 93 if 93T does have that kind of person, like that would be impressive, but I don't think they do. I could be wrong, but I believe that 466S does have that kind of person. So yeah, that's like literally one arc, like just sitting in caravans right now. So like, it's really going to come down to like, one, can 93T maintain that level of provisioning score against 46S and then continue to maintain that occupation lead? Because this is it right here. The last 15 minutes of the match, there's 3,500 points in the bag for 93T. They just got, all they have to do is just maintain that and continue to hold their structures or swap structures, and then they can move on to the next round. But like anything can happen in 15 minutes, Plato. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen indeed. And man, these two teams going back and forth. 466S trying to take away, trying to, face their sister team in 466W. 93T trying to carry on the hopes. The last team of the international server in this Grand Prix. It was inverse last season where the international server teams were able to get the best of the Chinese server. Chinese server teams practicing, getting better, showing the international teams new strategies. But 93T have been that team to adapt and to create their new strategies of their own with this counterplay of master strategies. So it'll be really, really interesting to see if they're going to be able to close out this game. It's a pretty much an even game here, Red Lion. Only 11 points. Only 1 point differentiating these two teams.
Oh, man. Yeah. So, like, I mean, I don't know this. I'm still stuck on that master strategist play that we just saw earlier. I'm just like, that was so cool.
If that did not wake you up, I don't know what will, Red Lion. If that did not wake up the West Coast, that was an insane play. My vocal cords are still recovering. It was very cool. It was just
so cool to see like that level of like, coordination, right? Like to really understand like what was going on in the mid fight, right? What was understanding how many marches the opponent had and say, you know what, making the call, let's do master strategist and then get some troops over there to take the second arc. I seriously thought 466S had that arc in the bag and like, okay, 93T is going to focus on structures. They're going to lose that second arc or probably contest it with the, with the sneaky tactics, but I was completely wrong there. It was this great coordination and great game play calling.
It was the counterplay. So this is what happened. 466S went middle. The counterplay from 93T was to go for structures. 93T went for structures. The counterplay to that for 466S was to defend their structures. The counterplay to that was 466S sneaky tacticsing marches right next to the arc while teleporting master strategies, more marches in. So the counterplay to the counterplay to the counterplay is what we just saw. And that is what the Grand Prix is. That is the strength of these teams in the Grand Prix and what makes the Grand Prix such a great tournament to watch. And this is going to be really, really interesting to see how this turns out, because 466S have been slowly but surely gaining a little bit of a point advantage, now up by 400 points. We saw the teams were dead even. That was because of the Sky Altar flip. Now trying to flip the Shrine of Life. It's going to be super, super interesting to see if they could come back and take away the 3.5k advantage with their provisionings.
It's going to be so close, man. This is way too close for my liking here. Like, you know, a lot of times we can kind of really determine like what each team, what team's on the back foot and what team is not. This is pretty dead even, Plato. And right now, if we're looking at the scores here, I'm trying to understand the occupation score is only a 2k differential on the favor of 93T, and then obviously our scores there is of 500 points, and then provision scores are pretty much dead even at 1.1k to 1.2k for both sides. And right now 93T has the advantage in terms of kills, but this match pretty much is even across the board. So this is anybody's match right here. And this last 11 minutes, these two teams need to really determine, okay, what we need to do to pull through. Is it provisions? Is it going full on with structures and kind of flipping those points to their side? Right now is all up in the air.
466S having extreme levels of success in this bottom side, able to flip the Shrine of Life, able to flip the Desert Altar. This is inverse of what we've seen in the beginning of the match, which is so interesting. It happened yesterday as well in the first match, 748W versus 466W, where the team that was so strong in buildings to begin with now losing structures every single time these structures are flipped. That's 160 points taken away, 160 points taken away, 300 points plus this is 450 points taken away. This is going to start adding up for 93T, and even though they have an arc in the bag, which is 3.5k points, the more and more those points get chipped away, the more and more it's looking like this is going to be a provisioning game, as it has been.
It's going to provision game, Plato. Like right now, the score is a 59360. Again, not major points, but if a few minutes go by, that's a huge difference with only 3,500 points in the bag. And right now, 93T is not in the lead. They're down by about 1,000 points. So if you turn this arc in, you only be up, what, 2,500 points, Plato? Something around there, right? So as you all seen, provisions can really make up those points very quickly. So right now, who is going to be the one to maintain that gap and to have enough provisions to win the game? In about 10 minutes left, we're going to see that.
Provisions has been, I believe, like one of the weeks, pretty much 3 of the 4 highlights was provisioners getting submitted into their cities. That's just been the meta of this Grand Prix. So strong provisioning has been, and man, this is going to come down. If you want the achievement of winning an arc game by less than 1k points, come play for the Grand Prix, because these games have been super, super close. And it looks like this game will come down to the wire as well. Oh, man. Redline, what do you predict the last 9 minutes of this game?
I have a feeling...
Give us some future sight.
Right now, just kind of playing what we're seeing in front of us right now, 4CS is coming hard at these structures, right? They're trying to close that gap. So that's going to be a lot of the next 8 minutes, I believe. It's just going to be kind of balancing it out and then taking every point you can from taking a structure. But then in Plata, when it comes down to the last minute, I feel like me and you are going to be counting how many gatherers are coming back That's what's going to happen right now. So right now, everyone's in Discord on
my
both sides of the team
goodness.
gathering. Look at this. This is what I'm talking
Look
about.
at this. They put a sentry to find the nodes, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That is a record that I've seen this Grand Prix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
Oh my
18
gosh.
from 93T. That's why 93T have only been sending rallies, no swarm support. It's because they've been gathering alongside 466S, and this map is looking like Swiss cheese right now, Redline, with how many dots are in provisions, how many people are visiting camels. Invest in your camel stonks, because wow, there are a ton of people. It is in high demand, this match. And Redline, as the gatherers start coming back, I want you to call them out to me so that we can point the camera there, because that is going to be the highlight.
Oh my god! And right now, from what we've been seeing, right, I feel like it's been mostly 466S being consistent with the gatherers. I think, right, because they did it right out from the gate. So I'm really interested to see how many points they're gonna score off these things. But as we say that, Flaw, we just turned in the arc. So this is that was the last arc of the match.
Yep.
And right now, it's 93T did what they needed to do in terms of improving their arc game compared to the last match they finished against 466S. So that's there. But the problem is 466S did a good job at closing the gap in terms of occupation, because there's only a 1k difference here. So Plato, it's going to come down to provisions. This is it. Provisions, maintain your structures, provisions.
This is going to be the glow up from 93T.
And I'm looking up at the provisions right now, and I don't know if we can call out all 40 people gathering at the moment, but like we can kind of see like as it goes, like what's gonna happen here. Like I'm taking a look, and
Oh my gosh, there's a player from 93T, Sign Y, just literally sniping gatherers. They're going through the fields of darkness, trying to hit these gatherers here, trying to micro all their marches, just going into this blind. I think they used, they used dust up, both teams, so that the field of vision is so low. They're literally walking past the gatherer, but they couldn't see it because they're blinded by the dust with dust up. What a play. Dust up actually not even used for the buff. It's used for the vision denial.
Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, 466S finding some success in finding some gathers, but it looks like the Sundiok is actually beating this this Joan of Arc. I mean,
pause, excuse me?
it's getting close. Oh, there you go. It was T1, so it was not beating it. But wow, this is going to be such an interesting game. They use a sentry in the back. We're only able to find one gatherer.
I'm looking on the bottom side too of 466S gatherers. 93T is getting some success. They're killing people in the caravan right now. In the caravans. So the chat, to remind the chat right now, if you're killed in the node, you do not get those points. They're actually 93T is doing a really good job in actually killing people in the caravan, and they're not getting any points there whatsoever.
Hey man, people make fun of farm killers.
Hey, it's a skill set.
You need to farm kill to win this game. If I were a 93T or a 466S member, this is the one time where you're like, please farm kill for us. We need you to get the farms, because that is what this game has come down to.
That's a big deal right now, Plato. That's a big deal, because if one person was actually gathering the entire match, you get killed in a node, that's a GG in my opinion. That's a GG. And right now, scores are coming in right now on the 93T side. Provisions are at 4.5k to 2.7k on favor of 93T. Big deal.
Yeah, I mean the provisioners continuing to come in from 93T. Pretty interesting that they're sending in the provisioners early here, perhaps because of the threat of the 466S marches, kind of disrupting the provisioners. 466S kind of trying to take the Shrine of Life, but also slipping a couple marches to go into the provisioners in the back line. Oh my god, this is not a safe match for either team here for 93T, because the provisioners from 466S, I would be so nervous because they have been provisioning more. They do have a dedicated provisioner somewhere here, as the Shrine of Life is getting swarmed down, and the Shrine of Life has also been flipped, though that's also another 160 points taken away from 93T. But you could start to see it is the 4.6 you were talking about. Oh man, Redline. The lead is growing, but I'm going to be so interested to see the explosion of points come out from 466S.
My God, as we were talking just now, I just noticed that there's some 466S gatherers on the side of 93T gathering. I just like, oh, that's impressive. They're sending out T1 marches. He finished the node. If you're looking at it, he's gone now. But yeah, these T1 marches, they're on that side of, like, they literally sent gatherers on the opposite side because they ran out of caravans on the 466 side, the 93T side. That's insane.
It's
like,
oh, you know what? They're not going to sad face this gatherer. They had the call. They were going to sad face it, but they're not, because the gatherer won't be able to submit the points. It's just points taken away from 466 from 93T. They're probably gonna make them low but not sad face, so that these guys cannot register in their points, because they have to submit it in their cities, I believe. But they're gonna sad face on cities. Okay, that's the counterplay. They're gonna sad face on cities, get the points submitted in here.
Oh my God,
the fact that we're talking about provisioning micro in the Grand Prix, Redline.
That's insane. Right now, bro, it's getting close. So right now, if you look at the provision score, it's 5.1k to 4k. So it's going to be updating right now for you, but it's getting super close. Like, I feel like 93T can pull this off. Looks like they're doing provision against provision, unless something crazy goes on here where Forces S drops like a giant, you know, amount of points here. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Where? Where
if you look at top side here, this guy just dropped 5 marches, the very top side of 460S.
Very top side.
Yeah, top side right here. Like, he's dropping the 5 marches.
Top side. Let's see.
You see
oh, that's 7k points. Wait, 700 points rather. 700.
Yeah. There's a lot of marches coming in. I think this guy might be the guy with the amount of points, like, you know, the sole
main
provisioner.
Their only job was to provision. How well were they able to do their job? Look how close it's getting, Redline. It's 400 points. 400 points.
Oh, they're in the lead.
They are in the lead. 466S. Do 93T have provisioner to respond? I don't know if I don't think the answer is yes. Oh my God, it's 1 point. 1 point differential. What is going on? Where are the provisioners? Are there any provisioners coming out from 93T? 93T. You have to have some provisioners. Tyler coming in. VJK coming in. Look how close this is. The hopes of the international server come down to these provisions. It's so close, Redline. Will this March be able to get in 2-1? Who won? Who won, Redline?
I think it was 93.
Chat, who do you think won? We're going to reveal it in 3, 2, 1. 93T!
Oh my God. What a match. Oh my God, and 466S still had the provision advantage? Oh my gosh. GG's to both teams. What an incredible match. Congrats to 93T for moving forward. Plata, what a match. What a match. One of the best I've ever casted and watched in a very long time.
That gave me literal chills. I don't know what that match was, but it came down to the last provisioners. Those last provisioners from 93T had 2 seconds to go before they got in their cities. Were able to get in, able to take the win, and continue the hopes of the international servers on this tournament. 466S have been taken down. One of the tournament favorites from the Chinese server now eliminated. 93T making it to the top 4. Redline, what do you think of this game?
One of the best matches I've casted and seen in a very long time. Shout out to 93T. Shout out to 466S. they're a great team to watch, especially these two teams going at each other with the types of strategies. The provisioning itself was just insane to see. But it was a great match plot. I was really excited to cast it. But 9-3T definitely they proved what they needed to do from the last time these two teams met, and they delivered. And now they're moving forward.
And 9-3T is not out of the woods yet. They're still in the lower bracket, and they still need to face the sister team of 466S. 466W next week, and 466W will be coming out for revenge for their sister team in 466S. Be sure to subscribe to the official Rise of Kingdoms channel right here for more Grand Prix content. And if you enjoyed the cast, Redline and I's channels are also in the description. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.